Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. We have some awesome developers here today from Click Nation. So Mark and Ken, why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Good. My name is Mark Otero. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Click Nation.
And I'm Ken Walton, COO and co-founder of Click Nation.
So these guys make some really good games on Facebook, and what we're going to do today for 10 minutes is go through some really specifics into what they're doing, why it's working, and what you guys can be doing to sort of emulate some of their successes. So do you guys want to give us a quick intro on what apps you're running and sort of what DAUs they have?
Sure. I'll give you a quick brief history of Click Nation, just because I think some of this may be helpful to you. So if you're at home and you're living at your parents' place and you want to make apps and make some money, have a good time, good for you. Click Nation was actually founded by Ken and I, so just two guys, about a year and a half ago, and we started off making games or just apps, social apps on social networks that used open social. So we had over 30 to 40 different applications across 10 different social networks that didn't really matter. So we were one of the largest international social game makers, especially on high five. I think we're number 2. Mm-hmm. And so we were able to grow the company from 2 to 3 people, then to 4. And then it's just with the ad model, we weren't able to really scale our business. And in fact, we almost went out of business about 3 months ago, until the recent launch of our latest game called SuperHero City, which uses virtual currency as opposed to display ads to grow revenue.
Okay.
And so SuperHero City is actually our most profitable game, and our latest game, the one we just launched, has about 60,000 DAUs, and we were able to scale a team of a couple of people to over 13 full-time staff in 3 months. And so this has been a really good boon for us.
So, in terms of what is different about SuperHero City versus the other apps that you were doing, Like, why did this one work versus the other ones didn't work, or at least didn't work as well as you wanted them to?
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, 2 words: virtual currency. I mean, we're trying to support our ads with trying to support all of our games and apps before with banner advertising, and it just didn't pay well enough. And virtual currency was the silver bullet with this game. It's just completely based on that. We display no ads at all, and that works well enough.
So virtual currency. So this brings me on to a very interesting point where this is a debate that is going on in our industry, which is, the platform started off with low production apps, just like text-based apps mostly, and over the last 2.5 years, it's moved on to higher production. Like SuperHeroes has, I would say, a decently high production value with the animation, the battles and stuff. So where's this going as a developer? Should they be focused on releasing something high quality like Restaurant City or You Will, or should it just be put something out there and just run with it? What's your recommendation?
I think the important thing is you brought out some really good games, and these games, if you look at who's built these games, they're very impressive people with pretty impressive team sizes, and with, in many cases, considerable resources, more so than the average indie developer has at their disposal. I think the most important thing for an app developer is really to get something out really fast, because there's nothing that's more important than getting metrics early on and seeing what works and what doesn't. And you'll know within a week or 2 of whether or not this game's going to have legs. And then you'll be able to then make decisions based upon that data, whether or not you wanted to invest and add additional higher production values. But I think the more important thing is see what games are out there, what works, and be honest about what your capabilities are, and then execute extremely fast.
How is it possible for indie developers or small game companies to compete with the big guys? Zynga is rumored to be doing anywhere from 200 to 300 million a year on a run rate basis. Playdom is raising a large round. There are rumors today that EA will acquire Playfish. So there's a lot of consolidation, and Zynga's been acquiring a couple of companies a month. So, do indie developers still have a shot, or is this the distribution that Zynga has just way too much? How do you guys feel about that?
I think if anything, Zynga's just defining the size of the social game market, and they're bringing the whole notion, the whole idea of playing casual games on the internet and on social networks to hordes of new people due to their ability to advertise and distribute. And they're just basically bringing games to all these people who've never really played casual games before. So I think they're actually expanding the opportunity. If you look at the list of the top 100 apps, there's still probably the majority are very, very small shops and developers still. So I think there are plenty of opportunities.
I think so. I think the focus for a small business or a small group of guys and gals who want to build their own company is to really just focus on those games too that they're going to enjoy playing, and not so much focus on the Zyngas and the Playfish because they're in a league of their own. I think the first thing the company has to do is find a way to do something that's going to generate some cash flow to keep them up and running. I think they should focus on that first, building a good business. That should be the top priority.
So, what's working for you guys, what isn't? Where does most of your money come from?
So we display no more ads in our games at all. We monetize completely through virtual currency. And at this point we have our own PayPal panel. So we take PayPal independently, and then we use offers providers to handle all the other alternative payments and then provide the offers and surveys below that. And we have done extensive A/B testing among the different panels, and so that's what we use right now. And I would say right now our revenue is about 70% direct payment through PayPal. The rest of it comes from offer surveys and alternative forms of payment.
So speaking of direct payments, there are trends that if you first look at sort of Zynga's early apps, Texas Hold'em, the lowest price point was like $3 to $4, and the highest price point was $20, and now I think it's $20 and $150. And what a lot of game companies are finding is their users, they're called whales, that will pay a couple of $1,000s per user per month, and that generates almost more revenue than all the $1 or $2 payments combined. Is that what you guys find as well?
That is absolutely true, yes. Price points are something you should definitely experiment with. Don't just set them up at obvious levels and keep them the same. We have price points actually for direct payments that go from $5 all the way up to $500.
Oh, wow.
And we only started the $500 tier because we were selling so many $200. And so we decided to launch a larger one of that. And people, believe it or not, do take advantage of that. We have whales in our game. And we are very dependent, almost frighteningly dependent on a very small number of users who are really obsessed with the game.
But I guess that's a testament of building a good game, if someone's actually willing to pay that much money for your game. So
I think if you're building a game in general, you have to really keep your eye on like basic game psychology, game mechanics, what's addictive, and just tap into that. So
also benchmarking as well too. I mean, there's farming games probably have a different benchmark in terms of the min and max. RPGs probably have a different benchmark. So it's really important to go out there and see what the other games are doing that are similar to yours, and then benchmark off that. You'll get some good data.
And really quickly with the offer providers, I know you guys have done a bunch of A/B testing and sort of vested interest with HowPeanut Labs, but all the offer providers will say they do the best, but from a developer perspective, A, what have you seen work, and B, like what are some best practices for people in doing A/B testing?
I would say don't assume they're all the same, because there really are differences between them. I would say secondly, pay attention to what you actually get from the offer provider compared to like what you think you're going to get, like how much you've been pinged with, we've done really well with HowPeanut Labs. So don't assume that the biggest two players in the space are always the best, because we found the opposite to be true.
Really quickly, if you guys can give out your email address or your website, just in case someone wants to get in touch with you.
Sure. Mine's Mark at ClickNation. That's with a K, K-L-I-C-K. That's already up. Never mind. So this is Ken at ClickNation.
Yeah, just find us at clicknation.com. We are hiring talented people with experience in the space right now. So.
And you can find us at peanutlabsmedia.com, and I'm Murtaza at peanutlabsmedia.com. Thank you.